So the tech assignment for section 4.7 is really just to create this chart and then use the length and the width to come up with the area. Now the area is going to actually have a formula, so it's just going to be length times width. If all we had was the width, if I didn't want to spend time calculating the length, then I need to come up with a formula of how to get the length if I just have the width. Does anyone notice anything about these number pairs that could help me figure out such a formula? What would be the formula for pairs of numbers? If I have a 10, then I should get out of 70. 20 gives me out of 60. 30 and 50, 40 and 40, and so on. Is there a formula that relates these two numbers? So they always add up to something? They always add up to 80, right? So if I had one of them, if I had this one as 5, then I know the other one has to be 75 because 5 plus 75 gives me 80. Or 10 plus 70 gives me 80, and so on. But if I had just one of them, if I call this my x, call this one your x, then the other one is what? What would I do with the other one? If I had this as x, how would I find the length given the width? I take this, whatever it is, and subtract it from 80. And then your area is going to be the width times the length. So it's just going to be the result of these two. You're going to multiply those two together. So that's where you're getting this formula. Now, as far as the rest of the calculation is concerned, question?
Yeah. Is it always 80?
Yes, for this particular problem, it's always 80. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this problem.
For this problem, yes. Not 80 in general, but for this problem it is. Let's see. No, I don't want that one. I want this one. Oh, sorry, I want the tech assignment. So we've got the width. The area is just going to be the length times the width. So it's going to be this cell times parenthesis 80 minus what? This cell again. Hush. Minus this cell. And that should give me my area. So that 375 matches what we got earlier. And now we can drag this thing down. And that gives us all the values. And again, that matches what we got earlier. Now it actually asks you to go a little bit further. It says use the smooth scatter plot to create a graph describing the width and the area. Okay, so if I want a scatter plot, click the insert menu and then you can go over to charts, and the first one there should give you a scatter plot. So right there, scatter plot. We can give it a nice title if we like. So my math teacher rocks. All right, so something nice and descriptive there. You can put in some things on the axes as well. Let's see. Area, fill, border, text options. Text fill. Text options. Text box. Ah, boy. I don't want to leave it just here. I want the actual. I want some actual legends here. Let's make that a little bit wider. So you got the width here, and then the area over here. Those aren't too bad of descriptors. I just wish that this was up over here. I'm not sure at the moment how it's doing it. One nice thing is that it's using the column titles here to give us some titles down here. The only problem for me is that this is on the on the x-axis. I want to move this up to the y-axis, and I'm not seeing how to do that.
Why don't you try to move it down, so you can have some space on this corner?
Pull it down, like that.
No, just take the whole thing and bring it down.
This one,
Just gotta, no, just gotta,
scatter plot. That's not playing nice with me. So, well, I guess I've left something for you to figure out at home. One last thing I'll do is I'll move this over, and let's take a look at how big this is going to be when it exports. Is it going to fit on one sheet so your poor instructor doesn't have to spend time going through multiple sheets? So if you do print, you'll see where that's going to land. That's doing one sheet there. Let me go back. How about this sheet here? Print again. Okay, so it's both landing on one sheet. So I didn't make it too wide. I'm not spilling out onto another sheet, so that's good. You can export this, and you should be in good shape. So nice. I appreciate you paying attention to those kinds of details. Some of you have gotten some extra credit because you've taken good care on that kind of stuff. Yeah. All right, so let's go back here. So the equation that you want is B2 times 80 minus B2. So what you're doing is you're taking x, which has your width, times 80 minus the width. 80 minus the width is going to give you the length. So width times length is going to give you the area. And once you have that first one, you can copy and drag all the way down. Of course, if you're using the width is 80, if you have 80 feet of fence one way, 80 feet of fence the other way for both sides, then that doesn't leave anything for a middle. That's why you're getting 0 for this last one. So, good question. Anything else on that? All right, let's.
Wait, I do have a question.
Okay.
So when I put that formula in, I got 395 instead of 375.
Did you have 80 minus B2?
Oh, you know what? I forgot the parentheses.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely need the parentheses on that one. Last shot. Anything else? Okay.